now?
Yeah, it's got a newcomer mode, I think they call it, which is dope because I really am a filthy casual.
I mean, it's pretty easy anyway.
Oh,
I'm joking, I'm joking. It's a hard game.
ooh.
I mean, if you play Dark Souls, it's not so hard.
But I love Dark Souls.
I'd call it harder than Dark Souls, to be fair.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Anyways.
Oh,
Moving
no.
on.
Right, so yeah, you find yourselves in this corridor. Nothing particularly special about it, apart from the wreckage of the catwalk up above. You have a route to get up and try and get through this door over on the right, or you have a door in front of you to the south.
Well, Minim's just going to barrel on down to the door on the other side.
Sure, let's.
Maybe if you guys are just kind of like falling down, and Minimum and Shaq just kind of like go barreling past without really paying much attention.
Well,
So-
it was falling with style.
Follow-
Cool. Okay, so once more, you find one of these closed doors ahead of you. You can. Well, yeah. How are you just going to force it open, or
Is it?
Are there access panels or anything like that?
there is a control panel next to it, but as with the rest of the section, it is currently unpowered.
Yeah, I mean, I could just kind of like pop through and make a wormhole. I'm wondering if, I don't know, if kind of like you want the place to be a bit more, like take more time or something. But
no, it's okay.
I wonder if it makes sense to just kind of like rush through now that Minim's got the map in his head, sort of thing.
Yeah, sure. No, that's fine. I'm not going to push you to take it particularly slow, since there is things for you to find. Okay, let's just. I'll just go ahead and say that you actually push through this door. So let me delete it. There you go. And inside here, what you find is, so first of all, on this corridor here on the right, it is currently semi-blocked by a load of rubble and rocks, as that corridor also seems to have caved in. But you can, it's not completely packed. There's enough gaps that you can kind of see that there is another door on the far side of it. Meanwhile, in this room itself, it's another rather low-key, just utilitarian maintenance type room. However, you can see that there is basically a desk that is set up on the kind of left side of it here, and there's a bunch of rather moldy-looking and ruined-looking kind of papers and stuff kind of scattered on it and around it, and also you can see on the walls are kind of. I guess they're essentially kind of drawn in chalk or something like that. Various kind of designs and diagrams and stuff that is written on the wall. At first glance, you can see it's all very neat and kind of ordered for the most part, but the rendering of the writing is rather scratchy and kind of uneven. You can see kind of anatomical diagrams that have been drawn. That seem to basically be anatomical diagrams of the storm beasts. But you can see not just the large adult forms that you caught a glimpse of in them. You also see... Well, give me a intellect roll. I think this is going to be difficulty 6 to discern more details about what is kind of written and portrayed here.
Well, these written on a panel or something.
Well, they're just literally written on the walls.
Oh.
But also, I guess you can be leafing through the papers and stuff as well.
Okay.
I sniff around a bit.
So.
Look for writing that says the
Numenera is not
weak
great.
spot is here.
Actually, yeah, let's say Numenera doesn't apply, but it's level 5, let's say.
Okay. Level 5. Beep. Bep. And bonk. Oh well.
You're not able to glean anything else. A lot of these markings are kind of ruined by water seepage, and in particular the papers are just, half of them are just like mush, and you can't really read anything particularly significant on them. So, you find yourself, and Varix also kind of investigates and sniffs around. You're able to tell Varix at least that, well, I guess as you can see, these have been here for a long time. That's about all you get, though. So you see this corridor ahead of you that is partially blocked with rocks and stuff, and there's a door beyond it. So how do you deal with that obstacle?
Shaq is very good at handling the rock, just so you guys
Yeah,
know.
I think, yeah, if Shaq wants to dig out these rocks, I think he can do it. It is going to cause quite a lot of noise.
Shaq's down with noise.
All right, so Shaq
Noise.
just digs right in,
He's a noisy boy.
despite not being able to see, and just like starts shoving rocks backwards like a dog digging a hole. And I guess some of you have to like dodge out the way, or
Yeah, I don't know where I'm throwing these bad boys.
or is getting whacked with one of these. Okay, so as I say, it's not a very heavy blockage, so you're able to do that, although there is a big banging and clattering of rocks and stuff. You work your way through, and you find another one of these doors. I guess I'll just say, if you want to be forcing your way through here, you can do that.
All right.
I'd like to.
All right, so you get rid of this door, and you're now able to move through. What you see inside is a very a much larger space. Even those of you who can't see are able to kind of sense this. The area that you're on is like a large, don't know quite how to describe it, like a deck, I guess you could say, that leads over to the right. Oops. Yeah, that kind of leads over to the right here. There's also a corridor leading up to the north. But more impressively, if you, those of you can see, if you look down to the kind of south side, you can see basically a huge, well, it's, how wide across is it? It's like 80 meters across.
It looks like it's above us. It looks like we're on a lower level to it, but is that wrong?
Yeah, that's just because of how the line of sight works. But yeah, basically it's a large kind of trench, I guess you might say,
All right.
that opens out down below you. It seems rather deep. Let's say at least 100 meters, maybe further. From your current position, you can't see down into it, but let's get to that in a second. You can see that this space is, it has like very large struts and pillars that reach from the bottom up to the top, and up, it has a very high ceiling as well. The area over to the west opens out into open air. So I'm going to show you a picture. It's not quite laid out like this picture, but it gives a pretty good impression of what it looks like. So, do add that to Minem and Barracks. So it looks something like this.
Ow.
So you can see the opening that is just open to the sky, and you can see the mountains around. You're on effectively like the far side of it, the kind of deck that is out there. There isn't this, you can see in the picture, there's like a big walkway and a big kind of metal ring that is bridging the gap, but that isn't the case here. And on the other side, you can see another kind of similar deck as well. Let's see. I think from here, that's about all that you can see. So, oh, and you can hear, so you could hear that kind of rumbling thrum before, and now you can hear it much more loudly. It's clearly emanating from down below. It's this kind of very mechanical, electrical type sound that is very loud but rather distant. And in addition, you can hear, I guess, kind of a distant, kind of a fluttering sound, I guess. I'll also add one more thing. If you look over to the east-hand side, I guess you won't really be able to see it from your current position, but basically it seems to, the trench gets closed off by some kind of platform or something that is over on that side, but you can't really see the details from here. Oh, and sorry, I know I keep adding things. Over here on the east of the deck is a stairwell that leads downwards.
That looks like a bridge over there, or like a control center.
Could be something like that. Oh, I'll also throw in. There's a couple of like large kind of utility vehicles. Like imagine the big walk mech thing from the beginning of Half-Life 1 in that tram section, something like that. They seem to be inactive currently.
When Shaq is made aware of the utility vehicles, he's going to try and talk to them and pet them.
They do not react.
Tragic. Okay.
Yeah.
You have,
So
you have to remember that Shaq, of course, came from the mountains of basketball Tibet, and he hasn't seen a lot of the world, so he was just kind of assuming that all robots are super friendly.
Oh, and also, as well as the sunlight streaming in through the big gap, there is also the lights are on in this place. Light strips and stuff along the walls.
So that fluttering noise.
That's coming from down below.
okay.
Baby storm beasts.
So getting the gist of the full map that I saw earlier, and sort of like reconciling that with the picture that we've got now.
Yep.
The kind of like the star at the end, kind of like the rightmost end of this area. Is that not there? Is that just kind of like open sky?
No, that would be... So the open sky represents the left of the map here.
Oh, really?
So,
I see.
Hold on. So this area around here is where the opening is, out into the kind of mountains. And off to the right, as I say, you can see some kind of dim platform. I guess you can see like very large kind of control areas, basically, like not just panels, but kind of like decks and platforms and stuff by which large banks of apparently controls and stuff can be accessed. There's also a lot of very thick, large power cables that are kind of lining the walls over there. But that whole area is basically on the picture. It's kind of off to the right, so it can't be seen.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I think we should try and make our way to the controls somehow.
We can have a little peek over the edge first, see what that fluttering's all about.
Yeah, sure. So as you look down, you can see that it is indeed, as I said, a very deep space that goes down, and it's kind of lined with like catwalks and stuff like that. Down at the bottom, you can see basically a long line of kind of like what we would know as like generators, essentially, like turbines and things. They're all connected with these like thick, clear conduits that are glowing with a kind of blue light. And you can see, again, like control panels and just like auxiliary machinery laid around there. So that whole thing seems to be active. And if you had to guess, it might be some kind of power generation or something like that. What you can see causing the fluttering is a huge blanket of, well, baby storm beasts. They are basically kind of nestled and hunkered down around these power conduits and the turbines and things. They don't seem very active, like some of them are moving around and kind of fluttering their wings and stuff. The smallest ones, let's see, I think the smallest ones would be somewhere around 10 or 12 feet across. And then there are various larger stages as well.
I've got this horrible feeling that they're necessary for the defense barrage thing to work.
Maybe we can make friends with them.
Maybe if we're the first things they
but they're
see.
so vulnerable.
They do indeed. Well, as you mentioned, so you were, well, inside one of them before, and you could tell that their kind of wings and their outer bodies, although they appear as in the picture that you saw, actually I think you should be able to, in your journals, I think you should be able to open these pictures up again, the ones that I've shown you, so you should be able to open the Storm Beasts one again, for example. But basically their wings and their like outer bodies are kind of made of this semi-synthetic seeming substance, like whether it's actually synthetic or just, you know, some kind of semi-biological type thing is difficult to tell.
It's not visible for us in the doodads. I still have my one open.
Okay.
But
So yeah, how well does Minim describe these things to the rest of the party, and if so,
I don't know. Has Minim ever seen a moth before?
let's say he hasn't.
It's a really weird bird, guys.
So you can,
Bugbird. Dusty bugbird.
so you can see on their wings are these kind of somewhat leopard spot-like markings, and as they're crawling around over these generators and stuff far down below, and as I mentioned, you can also see like the larger kind of adolescent and even, let's say, a couple of adults that are down there as well. But they're just kind of like clinging to the walls, basically.
So, just to clarify, when the storm beasts have attacked us, they've been powered up by blasts from the mountain top guns. Yes.
Yes, effectively. So what you saw was they seem to somehow channel lightning like from above, from the clouds above them, downwards into an area of space that they strongly, negatively charge. And it appears that when they flew over the firing ports, they were able to do that with kind of super efficiency, basically. So the lightning wasn't actually coming, like it's lightning. I guess technically it's going up, but effectively it was, connecting down from the sky and the clouds. And then when they flew over the firing ports, it was a particularly powerful bolt that shot down into the firing ports.
So they're just kind of like exploiting it more than kind of being integral to it.
That would be a reasonable supposition.
Okay, excellent. I'm going to throw my mass destructor down into the ravine.
Okay.
Are you gonna blow up the generators though?
Oh, I'm not going to blow them up.
Interesting. Okay, and so just to check, you do this without like consulting with the rest of the party first.
Of course.
Yes.
Okay. And what's the effect of this going to be?
Usable solid black cube about the size of a human fist encased in a larger clear cube. Effect. When activated, the clear cube begins to dissolve, which takes 10 minutes. After the outer cube dissolves fully, the black cube causes all eligible victims, living creatures the size of a small dog or larger, in long range to belch forth a cloud of black vapor. This vapor fills the immediate area around the victim, inflicting damage equal to the cipher level on the victim and all other living creatures within the cloud. One round later, all eligible victims within long range of every affected victim belch forth the same cloud, even if they already did so before. This continues until no creatures are affected. This cipher is a horrific doomsday device that could easily destroy an entire city or wipe out an army.
Jesus. Well, okay. I guess this is happening.
So I'm
Remember the last time we used a really powerful artifact?
So I'm looking right at you when I say, so what I think we should do is this. And you just chuck this thing down.
Yeah, I mean, it takes 10 minutes to activate, so
you also need
time to not be in long range.
Yeah, you also need to roll to activate it as well. So what is the level of this thing?
6.
All right, so you need to beat a intellect level 6.
Meep. Beep. Bep.
Aha, so you do indeed fiddle with it using your own creepy private means and activate it before tossing it off the edge down into the chasm. It seems to be, ignored by all of the storm beasts down below as it just funks down into an empty space and just starts doing its thing. So I guess the rest of you will hear that thump like echoing up from down below.
What was that thump?
Okay. I don't know. Like, what do we do for 10 minutes?
I suggest we go
Boil
upstairs.
3 eggs.
I suggest we go upstairs. My problem is that I can't even see line of sight, so I don't even know what's actually perfectly available to us.
Minim's like patting Shaq on the shoulder, going, "Yes, yes, yes. That's a very good idea."
We're good.
Upstairs.
Actually, there's no stairs up.
Oh.
There's over here. There's stairs downwards that lead into the kind of scaffolding-like structure below, and like possibly has access like down towards the bottom. It doesn't lead directly to this platform over on the side. So are you just like wanting? Okay, so like, are you staying in this space or are you moving somewhere else?
I guess it would be safer not to be here.
It would be pretty wise, yeah, to evacuate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just
Okay.
kind of like make sure that everyone understands that down is death.
Down is no bueno. Okay.
All right. So are you going back the way you came, or?
I'm kind of interested. Well, we can go get that control panel once everything's dead. So for now, we could just go through this door up the to the north, just see what's there. Oh,
Yeah, sure.
actually, there was. I do remember seeing something, but I can't remember what it is now. Maybe it is through that door.
Now, this comes from a lot of time playing Invisible Ink, but if we activate a doomsday device behind us, I'm going to shut the door behind me when we walk through it.
Yeah, is there? I forget. Is there something behind this wall, Corvin?
Possibly. Yeah. Let's say you did notice on the map that there was marked a some kind of like small room behind there. Let's see. Okay, let's say there's a door blocking this, but it's like a large maintenance door, like the size that these maintenance droids could go inside of it. And it is currently locked.
Have a little peek inside.
All right, so you phase your way through there, and just wondering how to handle this. Okay, just go ahead and give me a straight up defense difficulty 7.
What kind of defense?
Speed or might.
Sure. Speed or
The
tails?
music.
Yay.
So you, with your enhanced reflexes and sensors and so forth, you're able to see that as you go through the door and into the rather dark room. In fact, let's say it's pitch black room on the other side. You're able to sense a large robotic arm instantly swinging at you and trying to smush you against the wall.
Can I say that rather than sort of like dodging to the side?
Oh,
just, like,
yeah.
Straight back through. Like, nope.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Sure.
Not
Yeah.
this way.
Yeah. With your minor effect, you can just phase right back out of that door again, and you hear and everyone else hears a loud thump against the door.
Damn.
I'm hearing a lot of alarming sounds.
Yeah, same.
Just lead everyone to the door. We can shut the door behind us.
All right. Let's say a minute or two have passed at this stage. You go up to the north, and let's see. Actually, yeah, because this area here is powered, you're able to just push a button, bleep bloop, and the door slides up. And so let me get rid of that. Boop. Okay, so you go into a. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to say, so this door that you've just gone through is also one of these large doors that the vehicles could go through. But this one, you're just able to open it with a push. It hisses open, and inside seems to be kind of essentially a maintenance bay for those big tank robots. I guess these things are like 20, 25 feet across. So you see a couple of like taken apart ones that are in these kind of bays off to the sides, and there's like lifts and joists and workbenches and loads of parts for them and all that kind of thing. And you said you're closing the door behind you?
Yes.
Okie doke. Let me just quickly draw that back in.
Shaq is presumably going to realize that these robots are also not friendly, and he's going to be just slightly disappointed.
Yeah.
Very mild.
Well, yeah. So these ones seem to be deactivated currently. You see. Let's see.
My dribbling becomes a little bit less spirited.
So you can see there's a there's a smaller door. Oh, whoops, daisy. There's a smaller door off to the left, which is open. That seems to open into a room containing. Let's say it has. You would guess they would be power cells. They're like big, kind of barrel-shaped cylinders that are glowing with the same energy as the big cables that you saw down below. Anything else in there in particular? I don't think so. Let's say you could search it for an artifact.
Ooh.
So let's give you. I'll roll 2, and you can pick 1.
Force.
Actually, I'm going to roll 1 more just for the hell of it. Boop.
I'll look at the solid light dome.
Look up all the things.
Let's say in the course of searching, say this takes up another 3 or 4 minutes. So I think that pushes it up to 5 or 6. Let's see. Also, yeah, I think after a couple of minutes inside this room, you can start to hear a kind of like a muffled bumping, squeaking kind of noise in the ceiling above you.
Lovely. Well, if we take the Force Dome, then we can use that to survive the Doomsday device if any of the creatures get near us.
Yeah, that is precisely my reasoning.
I wonder if that, do you have the description? Can you paste it in? I'm just wondering if it would actually protect you from like gas, basically.
It says that it specifically says that it's got enough air to support 6 humans, and
okay.
the powerful force field is immobile, impermeable, and impenetrable.
Fair enough. And just remind me, once the Doomsday device activates, so
it's like a chain reaction type thing. So everything, an effect happens on a creature, and then that effect will target everything within long range.
Okay, yeah. So and then it's the victims that will start emitting that gas.
And
so it's
it
not.
Does, yeah. It then grows exponentially.
Yeah, but it's not the device itself which is emitting this gas. Okay, yep. I just wanted to get clear on that. Cool. Okay, so you. So it sounds like the Force Dome is the one you want to take.
So if you had like a long line of creatures, then it could just keep going and going and going until it ran out of them.
Yeah. Are all of you in this room searching for this thing, or are some of you outside?
I'm just following along. So I'm there.
Yeah, me too. I'm kind of
Okay, doke.
having to be led here.
So just to keep track of things, let's just say that you're all in this room. And actually, let's say that this door that you came through seems actually to have already been broken open by something rather large in the past. So you have another door over here, and actually, well, yeah, let's just say you have a sense of this with the space and stuff. This door here leads out into that broken catwalk that you were at before. Okay, so you're in this room doing that. All of a sudden, you hear a kind of metallic rattle, I guess, and a vent in the ceiling pops open. And out of it falls the Doomsday device, and it thunks onto the floor.
Oh yay!
Oh God, no thanks.
What?
And then you hear more like bumping and skittering in the ceiling up above.
Shish kebab. How long have we got?
It was 10 minutes, wasn't it? That it would
Yeah.
take. So you have 4 minutes. This thing is already, like, the outer layer is already starting to kind of corrode and kind of peel away from it, and you can see it's kind of it's like actually, yeah, let's say it's getting really hot as well. I think it's like a red hot nickel ball kind of thing. So it's kind of crackling and steaming on the floor.
Sorry, what is this thing?
This is the Doomsday device.
Oh, okay.
You didn't say it was a homing doomsday device.
Well,
So are we going to have to like hold on to this thing to the very last second to keep it out of
Oh god.
or I could
whatever
throw
is
it back.
doing
I
this?
could throw it back down the hole.
Yeah, but
And it sounds hot, but we got portals. Could move it along from portal to portal. Just give it a poke with a stick, roll it through.
Well, how do you want to go about this?
Yeah, well, it's got to go back to where the tiny little babies are.
Mhm.
Does it though?
I kind of want to jump up the vent and crawl after the skittering. I'm worried that we have an intelligent adversary that we are unaware of.
Well,
true.
yeah, you can certainly do that. So let's see.
I'm blind, but I can jump real well, and I'm gonna just kind of feel my way through the vent.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so I'm going to say that the jumping up part you're not going to have to roll for because you're Shaq. So you just do a standing jump straight up, and in fact, I think you just like there's enough space upwards above it that you just literally shoot up into the vent, and then only if someone's looking up there can they see that you're like grasping onto the edge and like hauling yourself over. Are you saying or doing anything while you're doing that?
I think maybe I should go with you just for safety's sake. I'm not sure if I'll be
blind.
much help being blind.
The
but
blind and the blind.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to follow after Shaq then, Nye?
Yeah. I'm thinking there's not going to be any light in there anyway, so.
Yeah, true. Indeed, there isn't, but indeed, it doesn't make any particular difference to you. So you leap up there, Shaq, and I guess Nye, you would also have no trouble getting up there. You start squeezing your way through this vent, which let's say it's leading south. So it's up to here, and you can hear as you're crawling along this. Now that you're in the vent, it's much louder. This kind of skittering. It's like the sound of fingernails on metal or a chalkboard, but it's just like scraping and pushing, and it's going at quite a pace. As you're crawling along, you can feel under your fingers some feathers, which are, well, I mean, you can't see them, but they're similar to feathers of a big bird, like a crow or something like that.
Do they feel synthetic like the Thunderbird feathers?
They do not actually. They feel natural.
I love nature. Takuna, I'm assuming that you're going to be in charge of that, of disposing of the Doomsday device.
Yeah, I'll make sure it gets where it needs to go.
All right, cool.
Let's say that as you're crawling along, Shaq, ahead, like you can feel or hear, I guess, that this kind of skittering seems to be moving faster than you, basically, at least at your current pace. And you hear a kind of bang and a clatter from, echoing down from somewhere off down the vent. So I assume that you're just going to kind of try and follow after it. Let's have both Shaq and Nye make, could be a speed or a might roll. Difficulty, I'm going to say 6 to try and speed up and see if you can catch up with it.
Okay. Let's see. Does my speed defense help me in this, or is it just like
no?
maybe
This is a speed action rather than
acrobatics? Maybe.
Yeah, I think your acrobatics and gymnastics and stuff would help. Though.
Wait, my effort didn't show up on that roll. I put in 3 effort, which I don't think fixes it.
Let's see. 3, 9. No, so you still wouldn't make it. But just note, sometimes to properly register the value after entering it, you have to click into another box or two. Okay, so so Shaq tries to get his hustle on in this vent and try and just wiggle and shoulder shimmy his way fast, but actually it just serves to get him kind of stuck. And as a result, Nye is unable to progress beyond him.
Too much Shaq.
Yeah, so actually, I'm going to say you don't manage to catch up with this thing. You know, it sounds like it may have exited the vent, or at any rate, you can't hear the sound of it anymore. So it's up to you. Do you want to carry on? You're not stuck. You can keep going if you want. Do you want to carry on and try and get to where it was, or do you want to go back?
I want to continue after this thing.
Okay.
This is
Oh boy.
this is making me very curious. Like especially the natural feathers. I think it's just
All right.
it's causing
And,
insatiable curiosity in me as a player, and I imagine in Shaq as well.
yeah, nice. And Naya, you still following along as well?
Yeah, well, does this sound like it has exited the vent system?
It
Could this
well,
be?
you heard you heard the skittering kind of receding away. You heard a loud bang and a clatter, and you can no longer hear that skittering anymore.
See, I'm almost wanting to see if there's any way we could communicate, except if this is some sort of bird, I'm assuming it won't know language.
It's birdist.
Yeah. I
Well, this is
apologise.
Numenera.
Yeah, you know, snakes don't know language either.
That's true.
Seriously. I would've
So
expected
do you
more.
want to like yell out after it?
Yeah.
Anything in particular?
Something like, "Hey, can you understand us? Me?"
There is. Let's see. You hear. You basically hear something like a magpie cackle, like you know that kind of sound, somewhere off in the direction that you heard that sound come from, but you don't get any other verbal reply.
Right.
Is that a yes or a no?
Could I sort of wrap my knuckles on the, on the metal of the pipe in a sort of rhythm, like da 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 da, and then see if there's any callback.
Let's see. Okay, so you hear. Actually, hold on. So you've moved down the vent a bit. So let's say you're kind of, I don't know, like around here somewhere. And as you kind of wrap on the vent, you can hear off in the distance somewhere. It's kind of similar to the skittering, but it sounds more like footsteps this time. It's more like thumping and regular. And after a few moments after you knock on the side of the vent, something whacks really hard on the underside of the vent, kind of roughly around where you are, and it's just like boom, 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 and then you hear more footsteps, and you hear another like, and you hear then footsteps kind of receding off. Let's say you can tell that it's kind of roughly off to the east, so it's kind of roughly in this kind of direction. So let's leave you guys there. Meanwhile, Varix and Minim, what are you doing with this nasty cube?
Is there
Can I just say that I'm actually kind of creeped out?
Yeah, this is very thoroughly creepy, and like the music is going with it, and
Yeah.
like being trapped in a vent gives the shades of alien horror. You know,
Yeah.
very cool.
But we are the alien.
Yes.
So there's gonna be like, we've been rummaging around for stuff, right? So there's gonna be
Sure.
like a metal bar or something.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so using the portals, could I play Doomsday Croquet?
Okay. And how are you placing these portals? Like, where are you placing them?
As far apart as I can to get it through as quickly as I can from
Yeah.
and like through this door and back to the ledge where I can just put
Right,
it
I
over.
think so. Just to check, with these portals, they have to be like lined up. You have to be able to see where
I
you're
have to be able to
placing
see where
them.
it goes, yeah.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, fair enough. So you start making portals. Is that kind of free for you, or?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you start making portals, and like, I guess with Varix's help, like prodding and poking this fizzing red hot doom cube through the portals, so accelerating its movement. Actually, how big was it? Oh, it's actually not that big. It's about the size of a human fist, so it's not particularly difficult to move. You move it through this maintenance bay and to the door, which you find marked with red lights. And when you push the button, nothing happens. Actually, it goes burp, burp, burp.
Okay. What if I lean through the door so that I can see through it
Mm-hmm.
and pop a portal on either side?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
Then it's up to Varix to maybe give it a good old golf swing and see if he can get it straight through there and into the
Sure.
ravine again.
Let's see.
If only I had Shaq, he's trained in sports.
So what happens is, okay, so you're kind of over here. So let me just quickly get an icon for the cube so we can keep track of it. Ooh, that'll do.
Wow. Oh wow. That. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so you're opening like a portal here, and then you're leaning through, and you're opening it like kind of here on the other side, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you push the cube up in front of that portal. You open it. Open the entrance one. Lean through. Let's see. Okay, yeah. You lean through. You see nothing in particular. You open the portal over here, and then you lean. You go back through onto the other side of the door, and then as you look to the entrance portal to push the cube through, you're suddenly confronted with the sight of a large and rather imposing figure who looks like... Where has it gone? Oh, here we go. Just give me one moment. It's going to be in Minim and Barracks. Looks like this.
Oh, that seems trustworthy.
Okay.
He is, let's say he is standing like on the other side of the portal, so in the space on the other side of the door. You can actually see he's surrounded by a little billow of feathers, as if he's literally just like landed on that spot. And as he looks at you through that portal, he spreads his wings and like opens his mouth and let's see. No, he doesn't say anything, but he just lets out a crow-like screech, and he raises up his staff and holds it horizontally, and then just throws it down onto the ground. And as that happens, the portal is closed.
Where's the cube again?
So it's here. You didn't have time to push it through the portal.
Oops.
Right.
Couldn't we put this thing inside the force field? Because we have this force field, right? Because we were going to put ourselves inside the force field, but we could just put this, put the force field around this thing, and then.
It depends on how committed we are at this point to murder.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not as keen on it as you are, I think.
I think these birds have given us enough trouble already. They're not friendly, but maybe they are.
Oh, well, what are you going to do?
Kind of tempted to just, burn my hands and teleport it the hell in there. But they're a bit sapient now.
Yeah.
It's up to you. I mean, you can certainly try and do that if you like.
Okay, so Minim starts banging on the door and just in total exasperation shouts, "Explain or die!"
So with that, you hear there's a brief pause. You can kind of hear. I guess you hear like a beat of wings on the other side, and then after a few moments, you hear a kind of crackling and basically some speakers that are in the PA speakers that are in the room with you crackle to life, and you hear the rather strained and cracked voice say over that, deactivate the device.
Well, I mean, we can't.
Do you say as much?
No.
All right.
Yeah, working on it.
I could teleport it somewhere else.
Exactly. We could like sort of disable it.
I think he needs to give us a reason to, you know.
You also hear of the speakers, my anger at you is mountainous.
But why?
It doesn't dignify that with a response. It just makes an angry kind of cackling noise.
That seems unreasonable.
Do you think that maybe we've moved beyond the realms of diplomacy?
Oh, we always say that.
Give peace a chance with birds.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
good for-
okay.
Good
But I'm
birds
putting on a
options.
I'm putting on a heat shield anyway. For the inevitable immolation of my hands that I'm going to have to go through.
You can, so while this is happening, you can hear, like basically the channel, the line to the speaker seems to have been left open, and yeah, it's like it's hot miking basically, and you can hear kind of like scattering kind of noises. You can hear some kind of rustling, and then you can hear this thing kind of muttering to itself, choke and die, choke and die.
What?
Do you think?
Sounded like choke and die.
Jokondai. Maybe that's just his name. Maybe that's his name is Jokund.
Let's see. Okay. So what, like, what action are you taking at this? Actually, no. You know what? Let's leave you two for a second, and let's go back to the guys in the vent.
Are we close enough to hear that they've sort of engaged this dude in conversation?
Yeah. Let's say you can hear it like muffledly happening in the background, and let's say also that you let's say also that you have neared like a turn in the vent basically, and seems to go on a long distance into the off to the east basically.
Right.
So right before we right before the camera shifted over to Varix and Minim, you said that there was a loud bang.
Yeah, on the side of the
force
vent.
up under us.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, I think Shaq would try and just smash through the vent to get to whatever
All right.
caused that
Yeah.
bang.
You.
I would want to like just expand my whole body out.
Fair enough. So you rupture this vent with mighty flex and go tumbling down into this corridor.
I shall go tumbling
which
after.
is the one that you cleared of rocks before.
Okay. Do I see anything around that caused the bang?
Nope. Let's say, well, you certainly don't
I
see
don't
anything
see
because you can't see. In fact, neither of you can see anything.
Oh no! Okay.
So let's say, you can feel that from the rocks on the floor, you can tell which corridor you're in, but apart from that, you can't see anything. The trouble with being blind, you see.
Do I? I will. I'm gonna. I'm not dribbling it this time, and I'm just keeping my ears peeled for any sounds of movement.
Well, would I have been able to sort of get an idea of the direction the thing was moving?
Yeah, so it was moving to the east. You'll be able to tell that you have doorways to your east and west, although you don't have any like seeing eye people, seeing eye snakes with you at the moment.
Do you have pathfinding?
Yeah, okay, so I guess with that, you can see that the door to your right opens out into the big deck that you were on earlier. So this is the same route that you took before. If you were to go left, you would go back into the corridor with the crashed catwalk. Actually, immediately to your left is the place that had the desk with the papers and stuff. And then north of that is the corridor with the catwalk.
Right. I am completely lost, so I don't know which way to go.
Yep. And let's see. Okay, I guess I'll give you this. As you, if you listen out off to the east, so out into this open space, well, first of all, you can hear the kind of rustling and fluttering that you could hear earlier is now a much greater murmuration of wings. Some of the smallest storm beasts seem to be kind of flying around in the space down below as they're agitated. And let's say you hear a loud thumping clatter from the area to your southwest, which you may remember is the kind of large there's a large opening out into the mountains, and you hear a heavy thud and kind of a clatter from that area. Also, sorry, what I was going to mention before, if you listen out to the east where there was that large platform with kind of large control panels and stuff, yeah, I'll just give it to you to keep things moving. You can hear the sound, like over the speakers, you can hear these occasional kind of hisses and screeches, and you can actually hear that they are coming from that big platform over to the right.
Do we go east?
I think so. We're just gonna have. Okay. So the platform with the control panel is over the chasm full of the baby thunderbirds. Yes.
It is indeed. You couldn't see that there was any direct access way from this deck onto that platform, but it may be like the gap isn't too large. Let me just measure it. What is that, like 15 meters or so? There's a gap. If you could traverse that, you could get over onto that big platform where the bird thing is.
I feel like I should back them up somehow, but I guess I don't know that stuff's happening
Yeah.
for them.
I mean, I want to get to you guys.
So you are, let's say, with your pathfinding and stuff, you'll be aware that there's a corridor currently to your north, and that is leading to that big door that we went through.
I think
that is now locked.
Right. I will wander that way. Sort of on hands and knees, sort of feeling out in front of me wherever I go, but yeah.
Okay, so you, yeah, let's say you get yourself up, so you're on the other side of the door from them. Let's quickly go over to Shaq. What are you doing in the meantime?
I am. My inclination is to get the hell away from that pit with, because that's going to be the place where Minim puts the weapon of mass destruction.
Yep. Also has some angry baby storm beasts in there. And in fact, I'll add, as they're like flying around agitated, you can hear like arcs and bangs of kind of electrical discharges happening down there.
Okay.
In addition to knowing that the intelligent bird is on that platform, we also heard a bang and a clatter from the opening out into the mountain, right?
Yeah, exactly. Something very heavy seems to have landed there.
Okay. Mama Bird is wanting to know what's causing all the fuss.
I kind of want to investigate that myself.
Okay. All right. Well, you could kind of feel your way down towards the edge of the, of the deck, basically. What's this here? Very appropriate, Takuna.
Some days you can't get rid of a ball.
Well, you can't see anything, Shaq, but you are perched on the edge of this platform. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So you go over to the edge of this platform, and then you hear again from the same area over to the west. You hear this again thump and kind of crash of like large wings as you hear something moving across this big open space, and then landing again with a heavy thump on the deck about 20 or 30 meters to your east.
Hmm.
I'm like, Shaq, where are you? What are you doing?
I'm hanging out with Big Bird.
Watch out
I
for the
think-
cookie monster.
I think we need to get back to the others as soon as we can. Because we
Shaq
can't
is-
see shit.
We can't see shit. I can still fight, and that's fun. But I think probably you're right, and we need to get together with the folks with the Doomsday device and figure out how to resolve that. So I'm gonna, having learned that there is in fact wings, that something large and winged is out there. I have investigated sufficiently. And I think I'm just gonna turn tail and
Follow my
run
voice.
follow your voice.
I
All
think,
right, so if you...
I think they're on the other side of this. Whatchamacallit. Oh, I keep
Oh,
forgetting the
okay.
name. Door.
And then I just kick the dog shit out of that door.
Well, hold on, because as you yell and start running, the sound attracts the attention of this creature off to your right, and it runs towards you, basically.
Thump, 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 thump.
Exactly. So,
Big Bird.
give me a second. Just need to get an icon set up. Not that you'll be able to see it. Right, so this is situated over here. Ooh. 10. Let's make it a bit bigger. That's nice and big. Alright, so it is running towards you, and if you could please do me an initiative.
Absolutely.
All of us, or just?
I presume when you hear this, Nye, that you would probably be running down to get involved,
You say that, but
or maybe not.
not that Nye doesn't like a fight, but it seems unwise given that what we've experienced before
Yeah.
with our eyes open.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. So in that case, just Shaq, give me that sweet initiative, please.
That
You know what? No, if Shaq's going, I'm going.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Right.
Match. You got
And
that match 20.
Cool.
A natty.
this guy has 21. All right, so Nye, because you rolled a nat 20, you get a free action before anything else happens. You can hear that the action is happening to your south.
I'm trying to think what I can sort of realistically do.
Try and open that door.
Yeah.
Obviously, like that. The plan is absolutely to escape through that door because this thing is too big to go
Yeah.
through a doorway.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I use the swords on my back, whip them out, sort of jam them into the corners of the door wherever it opens. Don't know if it opens
Yep.
in the middle or wherever. But
Yeah, let's say it's in the middle.
okay. So, Terminator 2 style, sword hooked into the door and trying to pull it apart.
Cool. Okay, so that I think is going to be a might action difficulty. It's a big door. I'm going to say it's level 8.
Right. Oh dear. I mean, I'm not even trained in night actions.
like
I'm more of
strength
a,
tasks.
more of a
You
speedy
do have an
type.
asset from being close to me. So.
Yeah, and I'd say barracks can be like trying to push from the other side as well.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So I will also.
And I'll let Shaq take one of the swords if you want on your turn, but I'll give it a go on my turn alone this time.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay, I'm gonna put 4 effort into it. Let's go. Oh,
Oh, nice. Cool. Okay. You know what? I'm actually gonna say. So with that, you're able to like lever it open successfully. No, I'm gonna make this more difficult actually. Like this is a big industrial door, so I'm gonna say with that, like basically you're gonna have to make a few successes to really get it properly open.
right.
But this is enough to basically, you get enough of a gap and you leave it open enough that certainly you can push like a lever through there. You can talk more easily through there. It's still not big enough to put the Doomsday device through there yet. Okay, so all right, so that was your first action. Now we go to Shaq. If you want, Nai, you can say that as like a free action, you can kind of throw your sword in Shaq's general direction.
Yeah, although I think it's like I'll leave it hooked in the door and sort of pass it to him as he gets to me, you know.
All right. Well, right now he's quite a distance away from you, actually.
Okay.
I'm going to move toward. Well, actually, first I'm going to pass the ball to the Storm Beast.
All right.
And it's the stunner thing. So this is like a ranged attack.
Oh, yep, cool.
Yep,
that's cool. So that's like like trying to make it catch it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to. What I want most in the world is for this thing to have to use both its wings to catch it.
All right. That did indeed happen before. So let's see if you can make it happen again. This is a level 7 beastie.
7 beastie. Is this?
And I think this would be a speed attack.
This is a speed attack. Very good. I am going to put 4 effort in because I really want this to happen. And in fact, it did not catch it last time. It went sailing past.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So this would be a first if I can succeed, but it will stun him for the round. Damn it!
Nope. Completely blind. You just chuck it in the general direction that you think this thing is coming from, but it just bounces. Let's say there's a pillar in the way that you couldn't see because you can't see, and the ball goes bouncing down into the chasm. Actually, no, I'm not that mean.
It returns to my hand like Mjolnir, so it's cool. If it does.
Okay, yeah. Let's say it threatens to bounce off the. Actually, yeah, no. It kind of goes flying out over the chasm, but then it kind of redirects its flight towards one of the big pillars and bounces off that directly back towards you, and you catch it again.
Okay, I'm going to use my movement in this turn to head toward Nai. And that'll be into my turn, I think.
All right, so let's say you can move that far. Okay, so that's your turn, and now Nai has another turn.
Okay.
Sorry, just quickly. So Shaq is now about, 15 meters or whatever that reads to the south of you.
Right. Well, I guess second verse, same as the first. I shall might it up again.
Nice. Okay, so you managed to open the door enough that you could hand something through. You could hand the Doomsday device through because it's not that big, but you can't quite squeeze a person through there yet.
Right. That will have to do.
All right. Okay, so that is Nai's turn.
So now that we see it open, can we do something from the other side, or?
Yeah, let's have you wait until after this turn, and then you can add into the initiative. So first of all, it's going to be the Storm Beast, and it is simply going to. So Shaq, you hear this kind of thumping of heavy, multiple footsteps, and these kind of feathery wings beating on the wall, as it rounds the corner behind you and just simply tries to essentially trample over you and pin you down beneath its weight. So this is going to be a speed or might defense, difficulty 7.
Okay, I am trained in speed defense.
Actually, sorry, it's going to be. I possibly should have been giving you more difficulty because you're blind.
Right.
I'm going to say this is going to be difficulty 8.
Don't pick on the blind, Corvine.
Okay, let me see. Yeah. I'm going to do a speed defense trained. All right, there we go.
Nice. All right. So, and sorry, that was speed. So you managed to dodge out of the way of this thing. I guess it's basically trying to kind of trample over you, and you can you catch brushes of these kind of thick, but kind of I don't know, flexible and kind of somewhat tough and spiny legs that kind of brush over you. But you're able to, with your expert instincts, as soon as you get touched in one direction, you just dodge off to the other side. So you successfully Actually, no. I'm going to say I'm going to say it basically barrels over you. So hold on, just grab your icon here. So you are left kind of behind it, and it's now in between you and Nye, and it's trying to shoulder its way like north, basically up the corridor, and get at Nye.
Oh no, I'm having none of that.
All right, so let's do initiative again, and you guys on the other side of the door can also at the stage do initiative.
Aye.
Okay, and put that in order. All right, did we get any 20s? We did not. So it is Minim's turn first.
Aye. Right, so there's a gap between this door now, yeah?
Yes, and it's big enough that you could push the Doomsday device through it, but you couldn't fit yourself except without your crazy warping stuff.
Okay, well... Yeah, okay, well I've got that heat shield on, so I guess I'm just going to try and lump it and hope that it absorbs most of the damage and just kind of lob it through.
All right. Do you warn Nye?
Oh, well, where is Nye?
Nye's on the other side of the door, trying to
the door.
leave
Oh,
it
the
open.
immediate other side. Okay.
Yeah, she's levering it open.
Oh,
I mean, it's a high door. You could try and lob it over her, I guess.
Yeah. I'm not
tell you
terribly
what then. I'm not sure. I could open like a portal for Varix to bundle it through, but
Yeah, you could try that.
could I retcon and say that I also heat shielded Varix?
Sure.
He was right next to me.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, as long as the rules allow for that. And just remind me, is that effectively just armor against heat damage?
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
the same as the one that was doing electric. It works for any kind of energy.
Yeah, sure. Cool. Okay, so yeah. So how do you want to proceed?
Wait, hang on. Where's the bird man who?
Well,
he's still in
the
the room.
last that you saw of him, he had flown over to the big eastern platform. But let's say, shortly afterwards, the speakers shut off, so you don't know exactly where he is now.
Okay. Oh, well, actually, I've got movement as well anyway. So could I open a portal, grab it, and then run through Batman style?
Yep, I reckon you could do that.
For reference.
Yeah, and these portals are just in this corridor, basically. Or somewhere else.
So one right next to me, and one as far forward as as close to the ledge as I can.
Okay, sure. Okay, yep. Let's just say that it's around there somewhere. Okay, so you are opening this portal. Is that not an action to open that?
It is.
Okay, yeah. All right, I get it. Yeah, I get it. So you do that as your action, then you're going to move through it, carrying the cube as your movement. Fair enough. Okay, the cube will do to you.
Would it make sense to make a might defense, or is it basically just kind of I'm grabbing something super freaking hot?
Yeah, if you're yeah, I think
Fair enough.
there's no way to kind of avoid that basically. So it's going to do 3. No, that's a bit too much. Let's make it.
Have to use the advanced tactic, hot potato.
Okay. It's going to do. It's level 7 times 3 damage, which is 21.
Okay, that's 10 damage then.
Cool. Okay, so with that, you are able, along with the cube, to go down. Let's say here. Let's say doing that, and then afterwards hastily dropping the cube and waving your hands in the air to cool them down is going to take up your turn.
Sure.
So there's that, and now it is Shaq. So in front of you, like off to your northeast, you have the rear section of the Storm Beast as it's trying to squeeze its way into the tunnel and get at Nye. And I guess you will have heard the portal open off to your southeast, and then Minim pop out of it and drop it and go like.
Arg! This is a rough spot we are in, my friends. I am going to go for broke and posterize this critter, the gigantic bird.
Yep.
And what that does is use its own weight against it and make it so that it cannot move. And I'm just gonna. It costs a lot. Let me see. All right, so I'm taking that out, and then I assume you want to have an attack.
Yes, I think so. Especially because this is, the way you do this is by dunking hard on something.
Yeah.
Let's see. So it's level 7, you're blind, which would be 8, but actually it's squeezed into the corridor and it's not really able to move very much. So let's call it difficulty 6. You also get your asset from fighting alongside Nye.
Okay. All right, and I'm going to put in a crap load of effort because I care deeply in my heart.
Nice. All right, you succeed. So you slam your gravity ball down onto the top of this thing, and let's see. Yeah, it lets out a distressed kind of squawk as it's just left pinned like a like a butterfly that's been pinned to the ground. It's kind of still taking up and mostly blocking the hallway there, but it's not able to advance any closer to Nye or to do any other movement. That's your turn. So as a result, in response to the loud screech of distress that this thing lets out, there's a big clattering and fluttering of wings from below as a bunch of smaller storm beasts surge up out of that space and start flying around the deck where you are. They're kind of crackling and bursting with electricity, but it doesn't seem powerful enough to affect you directly as such, or not anything that wouldn't be absorbed by your armor anyway. But what they do is they all start swarming and nestling around the larger one, and they're basically they're hunkering down on top of its wings, basically. And it seems to be drawing power from them. In fact, you can actually see several of them seem to not exactly shrivel up, but they kind of almost kind of seem to dry up. This storm beast is already crackling with a great amount of electricity, and as it finds itself stuck and being attacked, it lets out a huge burst of lightning in the area all around it in an area attack. This is going to be a level 8 might defense. You can't really avoid this with speed.
Alright, does that get everyone?
Yes.
Remember, we have assets to this now also.
Mm-hmm.
Do we get the bonus from knife fighting, or has she not been very graceful?
No, she hasn't really been doing any graceful fighting recently, so I think not.
Okay.
Oof.
It's just something I can't avoid. Oh boy. Yeah.
All right. Is that everyone?
I suppose this is the projectile attack.
No, this is just lightning all around you.
I have
So
something for
much
projectile
lightning.
attacks.
Yeah. And as a result, you all take 21 damage minus. Although, did you get electricity protected from Minim before?
Oh,
No.
no.
Oh, no. In that case, yep. 21 damage minus your armor.
Well, that's okay, because
Right.
my armor's 1.
The same goes for Minim, but you have your armor on, so you take 10-ish damage.
Well, I mean, heat armor. It's
Yeah,
the
you've
same.
got fire
do you
armor
not,
right
do you
now.
not have the electricity armor anymore?
Nope. Nope.
Oh, okay. Well.
So,
Not gonna survive another one of those.
It's cool. That sucker can't move. So, like, I imagine that if we want to attack it, we could.
Yeah.
very
So what
fairly
happens
easily.
here is basically the entire area around you just basically explodes. Like it's all being struck by a lightning bolt at the same time. There's a gigantic shower of sparks that goes raining down into the area below, and sets the storm beasts even more aflutter. At this stage,
I'm debilitated.
Right, at this stage, the cube is starting to really boil off, and I think at this stage you will have lost track of the time that is left, but I will tell you it is extremely short amount of time before it goes off. Nai, it is your turn. You've just been severely zapped by electricity, but I'm going to at least...
It's giving me a real pep in my step.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Nai and Minim are both stunned for this turn.
Okay.
So it is Varix.
Oh boy. Can I see through the door now?
Yes, but it is not currently open enough to get through. You could take an action to try and pry it open.
I think, let me just see something real quick. I think I have this thing where I can do two things in one turn.
Well, actually, you know what?
As a stake, he should be able to get through. Like,
Yeah, exactly. I think you can make a might action difficulty 5 to basically just like dislocate all your bones and just slither creepily through the narrow gap that is much narrower than you normally are.
Sure, yes, I will do that.
I love slithering creepily and skittering.
Oh, wait,
invitely.
no, I forgot the asset, the bonus.
Yep, I think that would take you over the edge. So, yeah, let's
So
say
barely. It's not as graceful as I'd wanted to. Like it's more like I run against the door and just slither, but also I just bent it a little bit by pushing through it.
So you managed to. There's like a crickle crackling of your like bones and joints like dislocating as you squeeze your way through over the top of the stunned Nai and into the space that just got thoroughly exploded by lightning.
And so the where's the Doomsday device again? Sorry, that was.
That's down here next to Minim to the south.
Oh, okay, he has that. And that is quite far, isn't it?
It's quite far. I'm going to stretch the rules a bit and say, let's see. Okay, I'm going to, like, for no particular reason, I'm just going to let you make another might action. This one's going to be difficulty 7. Pardon me. Difficulty 7 to, like, clamber or, I guess, slither your way past the semi-disabled Storm Beast and to the cube.
Who has the force field right now?
Force
I
field?
think Minim found it.
Yeah,
What?
right.
Well,
The force
I didn't-
dome artifact that we just picked up. Minim found it.
I didn't pick it up.
Oh, okay. Because
Oh.
I would have, because my plan was to like activate the force field.
Yeah, Varix, you were in that room, so let's say you have it.
Somebody
so-
picked that up.
So I'm going to make a sprint for the for the thing.
cube, yeah.
Are you sure you want to contain that or us?
Yeah. Do you want to? I would want.
Okay. I'm slightly changing my story. I'm gonna try and pick up Nai. Because the Storm Beast is stunned, right? It's not gonna do anything.
Storm Beast is not.
No, it's
stunned,
it's
but
pinned
it's
in
stuck.
place. It's not stunned as such, but it is temporarily, it's not its turn basically, so it's kind of temporarily recovering from that huge attack it just did.
Okay. Because let me just see something. Combat trans. So Minim, you think you have that cube in hand?
I do not have the cube in hand, and I can't move.
Okay, so you
or
are.
take actions.
Yeah, so Minim, he came through, he dropped the cube, and then got blown up by lightning, so he is currently prone next.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and pick up Nai and then run towards Minim, carrying Nai with me and shielding her as much as I can.
All right, cool. So, and where are you trying to get to? Over
To
the
Minim,
cube?
basically. Yeah, to
Yeah.
Minim.
Um,
Close to Minim so that I can also put the
Yeah.
force field around.
All right, so as I said before, doing that in addition to just having squeezed through the door and also carrying Nai, it's going to be another might action, difficulty 7.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Well, here goes nothing.
Because you're having to really slither at top speed and over all these obstacles and stuff. Oof, nice. Okay, so oops, Daisy. You successfully slither your way through that space. Ugh, why can I not?
Yeah, I can't move myself either.
Hold on. Yeah, it's because it's overlaying the other icon. All right, put that guy back there, and put you over here, and you over here. I'm going to say you can't. So that's your lot for this turn. You can't also activate the stuff, but actually, we are back to. Actually, no. I'm going to say now that this thing is pinned in place, it seems to be like temporarily drained by its attack, so it probably will shortly be able to try and make that same type of attack again or do something else. But for now, it's immobilized. Therefore, we're going to go out of initiative for now.
Right.
Oh, whoops, sorry. I'm not going to move you. So you're all gathered around this cube, which is practically melting its way through the catwalk at this point.
Okay.
Oh,
So
dear.
I'm gonna let those storm beasts know, not in my house.
It lets out a distressed squawk.
I would say we throw this thing at the storm beast and then huddle under the force field.
Sounds about right. I don't think we even have to throw it because its range is long, which I think in this
But
game is quite
initially,
big.
it's everything in immediate range, and then everything that belches out the smoke then affects everything in long range.
Oh, okay. So we do need to throw it. Okay.
Yeah, but thankfully we have someone who's actually good at throwing stuff.
Except you're the one with the heat protection.
Oh, it's still like really hot, right?
It's
Yeah, it's like
incredibly
melting.
hot.
How does that work? Hang on.
How about you with the heat protection grab it, and Shaq guides your hand. He grabs your hand and throws it with your.
Does it like a Patrick Swayze ghost type of situation?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's more like a tennis instructor. Like a,
Yeah, exactly. Like Shaq is, I think, gonna line up like. Let's just say you can move, so you can like line up behind Barracks and do that thing with like one hand on his waist and one hand on his like shoulder as you're just kind of guiding his shot.
I'm
even though
so
you're the blind one.
I'm so aghast, but at the same
All right.
time,
Well, if you want to touch this thing, Barracks, it's going to do you 21 damage minus your 10 heat shielding and whatever other armor you have.
You have a lot of armor.
I have a lot of armor. Let me just see. And wait. That's the problem. My character sheet is so long now. It's difficult to keep track of all of this. Yes. Okay, so it's 21 minus 10 minus my armor. Okay, so that's 4. Alright, cool. Alright, so I took the damage.
Okay. And no, I'm just going to say if you're chucking it, you have Shaq helping. So let's just say that kind of works basically, at least in the sense that you chuck it in the general direction of the trapped storm beast. Okay, so that is happening. All right, so then you're wanting to activate this force field thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, as you try and do that, you hear a sudden clatter of soft wings from above you, and the Birdman tries to steal it from you.
Oh, no, not at our house.
So he's swooping down, screeching in rage, as he calls you destroyers, and tries to snatch it out of your hand. So I think this is going to be a speed defense difficulty 7 to hold on to it.
Now, can I assist with that since I'm
Yeah, sure.
lovingly embracing Varix? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd like to get in
Go
on
for
this
slap
action.
I'm going to say only Barracks and Shaq, because I don't want to go to initiative at this stage. I'm just going to say they are the only two who are like close enough and quick, because this thing
Okay.
like swoops down extremely quickly.
I'm still.
So I get an acid from Shaq, I guess, and I get. Okay, cool.
Nice. All right. So let's see.
People are always trying to steal the ball from me.
Yeah, I think we chest bump and then we say not in our house.
So I think with that roll, you don't manage to like grab the bird guy, but you do manage to, swipe the force thing out of the way, and then you can try and activate it. So do we know what level it is?
The force field.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I rolled for it. It's a 4.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's let's say it's Varix who has to do it. It's going to be intellect level 4 with Numenera, which presumably you don't have.
I do not have.
Oh, thank goodness it was a low level.
Yeah, seriously.
Mhm.
Difficulty 4.
Nice. All right. So time slows to a standstill
Nurgle.
as you I don't know, push the big blue button on this golden sphere of a force projector type thing, and it expands out in a bubble around you just as the cube basically kind of splits and explodes in a big shower of sparks. And then all of the pieces instantly kind of melt away into the catwalk floor as if they're melting, it just kind of instantly melts basically and almost evaporates in a kind of cloud of steam and stuff. The storm beast convulses and is kind of racked with pain. You can see its kind of glowing green, blue, white wings, those of you can see, get rapidly corrupted and taken over by this kind of creeping black miasma that runs over it. Sorry, just remind me how, like, this force field thing, it lasts, right?
It lasts 28 hours.
Okay, right, good. The storm beast, it gets kind of infected by this thing. I'm going to kind of slightly ignore the timings of what it said. It starts to struggle and kind of bump back and forth under the kind of confines of Shaq's gravity ball, which it, through sheer like rage and distress, it manages to basically shrug it off, so that just thunks down onto the floor beside it. It starts kind of trying to wriggle and like flap its moth-like wings, but they start dissolving into dust, and the kind of spines underneath are revealed. It crawls rather sickly in your direction. It doesn't really seem to be paying any particular attention to you. In fact, it basically crawls over the force field bubble that you're all ensconced inside and goes toppling over the edge and falls down into the abyss below. The bird creature lands on the grate in front of you, and it seems utterly distraught. In fact, it collapses onto the floor. This music is Laserhawk, by the way, appropriately. The bird collapses onto the floor, sobbing and raising up its wingtips to kind of importune you. With tears in its eyes, it is simply at a loss for words, and it wanders over to the side of the edge and spreads its wings and flies down into the chasm. Since you can't move, you can't see what happens to it beyond that. I presume that you can't move this force field. Or can you?
I don't. It's immobile. It says the field is immobile.
Can we roll it like a hamster ball?
Nope, I'm going to say it is immobile, interestingly. Yes, it has pinned you in place. In fact, does it say whether you can even exit it?
It does not make any such concessions. So unless you can heal Minim at all, then no one's getting out.
Yeah, I'm going to say that Minim, for now at least, is knocked out and stonado. But you're just
10-hour rest.
Yeah, so basically what happens is you're left trapped inside this golden glowing bubble on this big deck, and you can start to hear these very sick, like coughing and scraping and kind of distressed fluttering sounds from below. You can start to see these storm beasts, like they'll kind of flutter up from the area below and like kind of perch on the walls, but then they'll lose their grip and go tumbling back down, belching this black smoke all of the way. One after another, you can see these big adult storm beasts who were flying around outside the mountain. They will fly into the entrance and start trying to kind of treat their children, essentially, but then they too get overtaken by this miasma and infection. And after
Terrible.
Jack is
after,
openly weeping right now. I just want you guys to know.
after maybe an hour or so, you no longer see or hear any movement in the area around you. You're
Well.
still
They
trapped.
attacked us.
I am
Technically
actually-
self-defense, but
I mean, we came into their house like wrecking their shit.
yeah,
We
but
came near their house.
yeah,
Yeah.
they opened fire first.
I am not happy about this.
No,
So
I did agree.
Yeah. So let's see. No, you know what? I like this. Even if Minim recovers and wakes up, if he attempts to teleport or phase or portal or whatever out of the force field, he finds himself unable to. Whatever technology was built into it seems to have provided protection, as it were, against that as well. As a result, you're just left sitting with yourselves for 28 hours, which is going to take you into the middle of the third day.
Now, hang on.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
is a
yep.
device that is projecting this force field.
Yeah.
Can I not just smush that motherfucker?
Interesting. Let's see.
Yeah, or I mean, the other thing is I can merge with things, so I can like merge
Yeah.
out of it or something. I haven't used that. But
Nope. I'm just going to rule on this that
Okay.
the thing is completely solid and unbreakable. It has its own little mini force field around it, basically.
I heard you like force fields.
But
Or it
as
just
you,
like makes the dome, and the dome just kind of sits there independent of the projector.
yeah,
after it's
something
made.
like that. Anyway, as you're sitting in, so you can see outside. You can certainly take your recovery rolls. In fact, you can. I guess, in fact, since you're stuck here for 24 hours, you can actually take all of your recovery rolls. So that might, don't do a full reset, but take up any rolls that you have. As you are sitting inside this thing, watching the, in fact, no, you get to see quite a lot. So as you're sitting inside, watching these storm beasts get killed off, you don't see any further sign of the Birdman either. But as they start to die, the rumbling and thrumming that you've been hearing around you all this time starts to get much louder. At the same time as the light from below starts to get much brighter, until this entire space around you is like awash with this bright kind of ultraviolet-like light. During this time, your blindness wears off. Yeah. And
Oh, there you are, Peter.
Oh yeah, you guys couldn't see the destruction.
Yeah.
No, we.
Just
no.
hear it.
I could only smell it. Trust me, it was to smell it.
And this sound and this light over a few hours just kind of ramps up and ramps up and ramps up. And then you start hearing a series of very loud kind of bangs, basically, but it doesn't seem to be of something exploding. It seems to be of some very large piece of machinery, like clacking something shut, basically. You hear this happening again and again in banks of actions that kind of go along the walls and then rise upwards. You can't tell exactly what is happening, but at about the 12-hour mark, some loud alarm klaxons start to sound within the space. They go off and you hear these announcements in some kind of alien tongue that you can't understand, echoing throughout the place. And then at the climax of all of that, you can kind of see out of the big opening port out into the mountains and stuff, see all the storm clouds and things. They've been coming to kind of like the lightning and thunder has been getting more and more frequent and coming to kind of a climax. But after a very loud kind of series of 3 klaxon sounds, there's a very bright flash of kind of light and energy release that temporarily kind of blinds you again just through the sheer intensity of it, but luckily only for a moment. And then when you look out to the mountains on the outside of this installation, you see perfectly clear blue skies. And the rain and the thunder, well, you can still see the rain and mist kind of drifting and depositing itself on the side of the mountains, but there's no longer any clouds or anything like that. And the light and sound from down below settles down into a regular kind of throbbing hum. Eventually, the force field just disappears. It just goes bloom, bloom, bloom. Thank you for using Tyraco force field safety devices. And then it disappears and you find yourselves free to move. Do you all have any particular reaction to the ordeal that you've just gone through?
I mean, I'm trying to find any way to feel good about it.
I step around a corner and I throw up.
Minim just kind of like stands up and dusts his robes off. Starts walking around.
After 28 hours, like we've had time to process this emotionally.
Yeah, true. And to get very bored and frustrated and fed up and probably hungry and cold.
And and our metabolic processes. Like,
yeah.
We've taken multiple shits inside.
I'm sure we have a cipher for that.
I never wanted to see Varix use the bathroom. Like, that is the worst thing you can think of. So Shaq is very grateful when that force field dissipates because now...
snakes only need to poop like once a month, isn't it?
Oh, that's a good point. Still, though.
But that was just now.
Yeah, it was just now, and
over.
it was like an entire like animal that you ate whole, and it just came out.
Oh God! All right, so I'm going to say that with that, after having combobulated yourselves and possibly cleaned yourselves off, yeah, I mean, where are you wanting to go first? You have like free reign of the facility at this point.
Does it look like everything's dead?
Yeah, you peer down into the chasm below. You can see there's a very bright light, not just from the conduits that were down on the lower level, but now there's big banks of kind of clear like power cells. They kind of seem like the same things that you saw in the room before, which are now lit up and glowing with a kind of green color. But littered all across the floor is a thick blanket of dead storm beasts, which look like frazzled moths, basically. Varying sizes, including the very large adults, which haven't suffered as much degradation, but they're just lying dead and kind of twisted at odd angles along the floor a couple 100 meters below.
Why did I look?
I spit down the crowd.
Oh my God!
I go over to Varix and try and comfort him, needing as much comfort as
these creatures have not hurt everyone else as much as they've hurt Minim.
That is a good point. Minim did get his ass good and kicked.
Yeah, I got a bit of a shearing as well.
But, right, yeah. Let's say with this, you make your way over, like you'd have to go around essentially, but whatever, you do that, and you bring yourselves over to the big control area.
Yeah, that's where I would want to go. Also, can you give visibility to me and Universal?
Oh yeah.
All
right, so... Oop, you can see! And... You can see.
You get sight, and you get
So-
sight.
What was the mystery blank?
Which blank do you mean?
There was a thing called blank here on the map.
Oh right, yeah. Let's
Was
take
that
a-
Birdman?
so that actually was the Birdman, but let's say you didn't see him at the point where you could see that icon.
Okay, fair enough.
Added him later. Okay, so long story short, you spend some time trying to. Actually, you know what? It's quite difficult, especially with your general lack of expertise, to activate these controls. Give
Should we
me.
call in the cavalry, or
Yeah, give me intellect rolls of difficulty 5 until you get a success.
Sorry, intellect roll for what?
This is to try and basically take control of this installation using the control panels. If you want to, that is, unless you want to...
Well, there we go.
Oh, okay. You...
Hey. Well.
Minim just, like, walks up to this huge, complicated
Well,
looking...
that's Barracks.
Oh,
Who, by the way, seems to have like 800 strength.
What?
Your blue bar is
Yeah, your blue bar is like stretching
yeah.
out.
straight
I
to
was
the end of
wondering
the
what
room.
that was.
Oh wait, I accidentally typed something.
One extra digit.
There we go. That's more like it. So yeah, like Minim, I think just like walks up to this huge
Barracks.
bank. Barracks walks up to this huge bank of controls, and well, actually, you just describe it because you don't really have any expertise. So, by what manner do you successfully take control of these controls?
I turn it on and turn it off. I turn it off and turn it on again.
Okay, you do that. It goes like, all of the control panels shut off, and like from the big space down below, you can hear this kind of powering down side. But then you change your mind and push the on button again, and it automatically.
It just keys onto me as the new.
Yeah, exactly,
You know?
and it just like completely user-friendly experience. It just splashes up all of these displays around.
They've had a billion years to get it right.
Yeah,
No, it's
and-
like if you first boot up your iPhone, you know, it says, "Welcome. Please tell us your name."
Yeah, and long story short, what it tells you is all systems fully operational. 18 out of 23 firing ports are available for firing. The others have been are out of action due to mechanical failure. The long-range target detection and analysis radar whirs into life as you can hear another deep rumble in the mountains. Some kind of sensor array seems to whir to life. You see a large map of much of the known world, but obviously centered on this mountain range, and you see a huge cloud of red blips of various sizes, which are a few hundred kilometers to your east and advancing towards you. With that, we end the session.
Okay. I'm feeling this time pressure now because we just spent 28 hours pooping in front of each other, and
yeah.
like
Yeah, I don't know if we were ready for that level of like commitment in our relationship. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's like some of the mystery just goes.
Nevertheless, so you will have to deal with the situation there and try and work out whether you have time to get to the Titan or take any other kind of actions, and how to liaise with the church and their war efforts in the next session.
exciting.
Oh, we just committed genocide again.
Ah, wait,
I mean, like once you can say it's an accident, but twice, like it's starting to look like a pattern, man.
I had been planning for there to be at least the option of a more diplomatic outcome to this, but then I just chucked the Doomsday device in there, so
Yep.
determined how things went.
Also, you know I have another one of those, right?
Nice.
Just
As in another of the actual same device, or just another?
Yep, I have another mass destructor.
Okay.
we know how it works
Boy.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's successful.
Yeah, but the main problem I see with that is we don't have another force field, so I don't know how
Greece
well
needs to
that's
be a
gonna go.
long way away next time.
Yeah, it's going to be a long shot from Shaq at the buzzer.
10 minutes.
Nice. Well,
Target.
I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah.
I liked how the blindness and the moving icons around and stuff worked. And I
Yeah,
just
that
thought,
was a lot of fun.
yeah, and I just thought there was like a good atmosphere to this one, and
Yeah.
the music I thought worked pretty well as well.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
let me move it off super dramatic.
Yes, that would be nice because I'm.
Some nice relaxing rain noises.
Yeah.
Can you come and DJ my game on like tomorrow? That'd be awesome.
Corvine, game DJ.
Yes.
Yeah,
Anyway,
so that was
Stephens,
cool.